Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the camera audience?
I am Paul J. McCann, son of William P. McCann and Elizabeth Forrester McCann.
And you live in
Great Falls, Montana.
And your wife's name, and how many kids do you have and all that?
We have 8 children, and my wife's name is Anne Marie Swizzler McCann.
Your son's names?
Is William P. McCann, Thomas Michael McCann, Paul J. McCann Jr., and T. Mark McCann.
T. Martin?
T. Mark, M-A-R-K.
Yeah, that's right.
McCann.
T stands for?
Timothy.
And how about the girls in the family?
The girls, Miriam McCann, Carol McCann, Kathleen McCann, and Sheila McCann.
How many are single?
We have one that's married. Paul Jr. McCann is married to Janice. Janice is a dentist in Billings, Montana, and Paul Jr. is a lawyer practicing in Billings, Montana.
How about William P., the oldest
William
son?
P. McCann, he sort of never made it to the altar when he was engaged to be married. Instead, he headed for the priesthood.
So he's heading, is he a priest now, or?
No, he will be in a couple of years.
Sounds great.
In Minneapolis, and William P. is out in Oregon, and Carol's in the state of Washington, and Sheila's in California, and Miriam and Kathy are in Montana.
How many grandchildren do you have?
How many grandchildren we have? We have 7.
Okay. What else?
What are their names?
What are their names? That's what Todd Duffy said.
Virginia, Tori, Mathis, Virginia Mathis, and Tori Mathis. And there's Andrew Arneson, Lee Arneson, Tyler John Arneson, and Ellie Arneson, and Leah McCann.
Okay. What else?
You're not leaving anyone out there. You got them all?
And as far as your brothers and sisters,
Mary McCann, and Evelyn McCann, and Alice McCann, and Beatrice Duffy. Or Alice Taylor, rather, but anyway.
you had a brother that
Re-edit that one. It's Mary McCann.
Just a few hours later.
Alice Taylor. And
I just grabbed you from the tavern there, and it's been a very exciting day.
Well, we got to keep up to their middle names. We forgot about Alice Taylor.
Okay, then also you had a young brother that died at a very young age.
Timothy McCann.
What was his middle name? Your brother's middle name?
Timothy Michael McCann.
And where's he buried?
In Devil's Lake, North Dakota.
How about your father? Where is he buried?
He was buried in Osseo, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis.
Along with his wife.
How long was his life?
I mean, along with Elizabeth, huh?
Along with Elizabeth.
Along with, yeah.
Forrester McCann.
Okay. Any other questions you can think of?
Are you a Democrat, Republican, or Independent?
I am a McCann, and therefore independent.
Oh, what type of business are you involved in?
I'm involved in the business.
Paul McCann?
What happened to my hand?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, okay, I was in this bar, and the guy came up to me, and he says, let's arm wrestle. Well, how was I to know that it was Mike Tyson?
Wow, geez. So what's the story? The true story?
Yeah. Well, I had to tell you, you know, that's
Okay.
it, see.
Okay.
But I got some other versions. This is me.
Who's me?
My name is is Tom Duffy.
It's not James Bond, is it?
No, it's Tom Duffy, and I'm a cousin of Tom McCann, who's conducting this interview.
Oh, wonderful. Nice guy,
If you
huh?
look in my eyes, you can see his reflection in there.
Oh,
Can you see it?
stand back a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
See the reflection? If you do, what you're seeing is Tom McCann. What's a little interesting there? Tom
Okay.
McCann, you're seeing.
Now, let's see. Earlier today, you were at the
I was at a fantastic family reunion and had a fantastic time and ate some fantastic food. It was very good food. And met some fantastic people.
Wonderful. Fantastic.
It was.
So, basically, Mr. Duffy, who are you related to?
I'm the great-grandson of James McCann, the grandson of William P. and Elizabeth McCann, and the son of Beatrice and Dennis Duffy.
And Beatrice is your mother, naturally, and she's related to?
She is the daughter of William P. McCann and Elizabeth McCann.
Okay. And whereabouts do you live, Tom?
I live in the city of Chicago on a lake in Illinois.
Oh, wonderful.
See, I have 3 sisters, 4 brothers.
Okay, and they all live all over the United States?
They all live all over the United States.
And now, don't get insulted, but is anybody married?
No, it's actually a very good question. No one is married yet, and we believe in the William McCann method of marriage, which is post-40s.
Oh, is that right? So you guarantee that there'll be some marriages when certain people reach 40?
I guarantee that it'll be a while before people can marry, yes.
But they will get married. You heard it, folks. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed that it will be a while. It will be a while.
You heard it now, live.
It's
from St. Paul, Minnesota.
There it is, groundbreaking
at the
news.
Sheridan Hotel
It's a
here
very scenic hotel.
on September the 8th, 1991. Tom Duffy says, guaranteed there will be some marriages. Wonderful.
That's it.
Okay, that's his favorite. Okay, what's that? Anyway, I won't take too much time. What was the one story about Will, your father? It was at a school board meeting, and he wanted.
Oh yeah. They weren't going to. They were going to discontinue the bus for the high school children. They believed that the bus should only take the grade school children, not the high school children. And we didn't hear this till much later, but evidently he was very insistent. And he even took, the name of the person was Frank Powell, I believe. He was the president of the school board. And he just took him under his arms and raised him up.
That was Will.
Yeah, Will, my father. And let him know that, that bus was going to take his children to high school. And that was it. And then he even went and jumped on the table and jumped up on the table to let him know that, I don't know exactly what he said, but it was to let him know that no way were they going to get by with discontinuing the bus for the high school children. And his children were going to go on that bus, and so were all the others, and that high school was very important, and that is what he moved to that locality for, and he insisted they continued to take the high school children as well as the grade school children, and they did.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because see, they didn't have children.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Powell was married, and he was a neighbor, and he was quite influential. They, had a little money, a little property and support, and they believed that they could cut this out, because they didn't have children, they didn't care. But he let them know. We were surprised. We didn't know all this took place till later. Other people told us what happened that were at the school board meeting.
Now, Will is a very spiritual man, too, somewhat like Martin, where he said the rosary every day.
Yes, he insisted that every night at 7 o'clock, whether we had company or not, we were going into the living room and we all knelt down. We couldn't sit down. We had to kneel down and say that rosary. And it didn't make any difference who was there, whether they were Catholic or Protestant. they were invited to join us in the rosary, and if they didn't like it, they said, he told them they could sit in the room until we said the rosary. So we said the rosary every night after supper at 7 o'clock. That was our rosary time. That was it.
Now, where do you think Martin and Will
They were
got this from as far as saying the rosary at night?
Well, I think their mother, that's what my father always said, his mother, who was Mary Kathleen O'Connor McCann.
She would say the rosary. She's the one that kind of initiated, do you think? Or?
I think so, but I really don't know.
Right.
I don't know that. Well, I'm the oldest, and then Paul is the next oldest, and then there's Evelyn, and Alice, and Beatrice.
Okay, and then you also had a brother that died at a very young age.
Timothy Thomas McCann.
He died at about how
He
old?
was 3 months and 21 days old, and he's buried in Devil's Lake, North Dakota.
Okay. Let's see, and then let's see. How many children do you have?
I had 7 children. I have 6 living. The oldest is Frank, who lives in Forsyth, Montana, and John died when he was almost 16 years old after 2 heart operations. And then there's Joe, who lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and the next one is Margaret Mary. We call her Peggy, and she's married, and her married name is Roberts, and she lives in Memphis, Tennessee, and she has 3 children. Well, I didn't tell you about Joe's children and Frank's children, so maybe I should go back. Frank has 4 boys, and their names are Theo, Will, Luke, and Art. And Joe has 3 children, John, Natasha, and Sanjay. And then Peggy has 3 children, Chris and Brian and Elizabeth. And then Marianne is a nurse, and she lives in Santa Barbara, California. And then Tom is married to Sue, and they live in Phoenix, and they have 3 children. They have Mark and David and Katie. And then, of course, Mike is living here in St. Paul, and he's not married. So I guess that's a short synopsis of the family.
Right. And let's see, how many grandchildren do you have?
I have 10 grandsons and 3 granddaughters.
Okay.
Then, of course, Peggy has 2 children from her husband's side, and so that would make really 2 extra boys. So that would make 12 boys and 3 girls.
Okay. Through the years or whatever.
Well, first of all, I was home with the family, and then afterwards, I worked as in insurance. I was I was assistant district manager, and I was state trainer for Reserve Life Insurance and a company. We sold life and disability income and hospitalization and the whole line of insurance. I worked at that, and then afterwards I went back into federal government, and I worked as in personnel in the meat inspection program, and then after I was supervisor there, and then I went into Social Security, and I was a service rep for Social Security when I retired in 1981.